Shalom Yasha'Allah, his brother Mapathak, right? That'll be key, but in the ancient Paleo Hebrew. And this is going to be a quick video. We're going to chiefly deal with Psalms 32 and 9, which is a heavy verse, you understand? And before we go into it, I want to say YAHAWAH, Bahasham, Yahawashi. That'll be all praises to the Most High God, Yahawaah, in the name of his only begotten Son, who the world will ignorantly call Jesus Christ. But we know him as Yahawashi, the righteous, man, right? And the Lashua Kadash, right? In the ancient Paleo Hebrew. And I don't want to waste no time, man. I want to dive right into this thing, man. Right? So this Psalm 32 and verse 9, it says, "Be ye not as the horse or as the mule, which have no understanding." Right? So we don't want to be as one of these dumb animals in this thing, man. Right? As the horse or the damn mule that have no understanding. Right? And this the point. It says, "Whose mouth must be held in with bit and bridle." Right? So you don't want to be a brother or a sister in this truth that always needs somebody to hold their hand in this thing. Right? That's what that's going into when it says whose mouth must be held in with bit and bridle. Because the bit and the bridle is what's used to control a horse, man, or a mule. You understand? So let's show that real fast. Right? So just in case, for edification's sake, this is what a bit and a bridle is. You understand? This device that's used to control a horse, right, and lead it to the waters, right, lead it to where it should go, right. So just real fast, that's what I want. What is a bit and bridle used for? Right, it says the bit, right, kind of get in there. It says the bit, bridle, and reins function together to give control of the horse's head to the rider, right. So that's what it's used for, to control the horse, right, to lead the horse where it's supposed to go. Right, it says the bit applies pressure to the horse's mouth and reinforces the other control signals from the rider's legs and weight distribution. So it's basically like having a collar for a dog. When you have a collar for a dog, you're leading that dog where to go. You understand? So let's go back to the verse. I'm gonna read it one more time. It says, "Be ye not as the horse or as the mule, right, which have no understanding, whose mouth must be held in with bit and bridle." Right? And you got a lot of brothers and sisters in this truth. Hey, they not going to do nothing until somebody kind of grab them by the hand, man. Right? Hey, they kind of sitting around idle until somebody call their phone like, "Hey, brother, you trying to study?" Right? Or, "Hey, brother, you trying to do this? You trying to trade precepts?" Right? Other than that, that brother or sister is sitting around idle. Right? And the Lord says, if you're that brother or sister in the spirit, hey, he said you have no understanding, man. Right? Because, hey, you can't be sitting around waiting for somebody to grab your hand, man. Right? Because you gotta, if that's the spirit that you're in, you gotta ask yourself, do you really want the kingdom, man? Right? So let me read it again. It says, "Be ye not as the horse or as the mule, which have no understanding," right? "Whose mouth must be held in with bit and bridle, lest they come near unto thee." Right? So don't be that brother that always, the reason why I haven't been doing that because brothers ain't been hitting me up, right? Or brothers never want to study with me, right? Or brothers never want to read with me, or whatever it may be, right? Don't blame other brothers for why you're not doing the work. You understand? So let's go into the book of Matthew 20. Because a lot of brothers in this thing are idle, right? Same with the sisters. They just idle in this thing. They don't really know what they in this thing for. They just thought it was something cool to do, right? And now that they in this thing, hey, they not bearing fruit. You understand? They're being stagnant. So this is the book of Matthew, chapter 20 and verse 6, and this whole parable is good, but we're going to get verse 6. It says, "And about the 11th hour, he went out and found others standing idle," right? And this is going to the Lord, and it's going to servants, you understand? When you read this whole parable, but I just wanted to make a point with this verse. Salaki, it says, "And about the 11th hour, he went out and found others standing idle, and said unto them, Why stand ye here all the day idle?" Right? And that's what brothers and sisters do in this thing. Right? They just sitting around idle, waiting for somebody to call their phone and say, "Hey, brother, we need to do this." Right? Or maybe we should be doing this. Hey, brothers, hey, do you really want the kingdom? Right? Brothers should be on fire for the Lord regardless. You understand? Don't be that damn horse or mule, man. Waiting for somebody to pull you by the damn bridle. Right? Like a dog that's waiting for somebody to grab your collar and take you somewhere, man. Right? You can't be that brother or sister in this truth. Right? I'm going to read verse 6 again. Matthew 20 and 6. "And about the 11th hour, he went out and found others standing idle, and saith unto them, Why stand ye here all the day idle?" Right? And it says, verse 7, They say unto him, because no man have hired us, right? And that's the spirit a lot of brothers and sisters is in, because nobody told me to do nothing, right? Nobody hit me up and said, let's do this or let's do that. Hey, brother, you should be trying to make your own call in the election, sure, right? Because at the end of the day, you're going to be judged according to your own works. You understand? Right? According to your own heart. You understand? The Lord tries your heart, right? And it says, and he saith unto them, go ye also into the vineyard, and whatsoever is right, that shall you receive, right? And this is really, in this context, it's talking about Yahawashi sending laborers out into the harvest, right? But in the spirit, right, this is really what brothers and sisters do in this truth. They just standing around idle, waiting for somebody to grab them by the hand. Hey, brother, let's go out and teach the word, right? Hey, brother, let's go out and study, right? But hey, if nobody hitting them up, their excuse is, hey, I kind of ain't know what I was supposed to be doing, right? They just sitting around, man, right? Well, nobody hit me up all day, right? Nobody hit me up all month and said, let's read, right? So that's the wrong spirit to be in, you understand? Because at the end of the day, hey, one day you probably ain't gonna have brothers or sisters around you, man, that's gonna be able to grab you by the hand or exhort you to keep going, man, right? But is your heart really right with the Lord? You should want to serve the Lord regardless. You got to get up and be on fire and be that brother that's grabbing other brothers by the hand. Because don't get me wrong, there's nothing wrong with bearing your brother's burdens, but you can't just be sitting around moping all day because brothers not hitting you up, man, or waiting for brothers to call you to do the work, man, right? So let's go into another one. Let's go into the book of Sirach, right? This is the book of Sirach, because I learned that, hey, man, you're not gonna always have brothers around you in this truth, man, right? You understand? You're not gonna always. One day you're gonna be alone in this thing, man. It's gonna be you and Yahawashi, right? You and YAHAWAH Yahawashi, man. Right? So it's the book of Sirach, chapter 33 and verse 27. And it reads, send him to labor, that he be not idle, for idleness teacheth much evil. Right? And hey, it's certain brothers that always got to be sent to labor, right? Other than that, they're gonna be idle, right? They're gonna sit around doing nothing until somebody get on them like, hey, brother, you need to be doing this more, brother, right? Brother, why you ain't been reading, man? Right? Why you ain't been teaching, brother? Right? Why you ain't been calling under the brothers, exhorting brothers? Right? You ain't been doing no exhortation. You just sitting around, brother. Right? So let me read that again. It says, Salakia, verse 27. It says, send him to labor, that he be not idle. So you shouldn't have to always have somebody else send you to labor, man. Right? You should know to labor. You should want to labor. You understand? And it says, for idleness teacheth much evil, and that idleness is going to teach you much evil, and ultimately you're going to be cut down, because the Lord don't need a tree that's sitting around not bearing fruit. You understand? That always needs somebody to grab them by the hand, right? And that's the main point of this lesson, right? Is you can't be that horse or that mule that needs somebody to grab them by the bridle. You understand? And lead them to the waters, right? It's okay for some time to be down in the spirit and need a brother or a sister to lift you up, but you can't always need somebody to grab you by your damn bridle, right? Or grab you by your damn collar and take you to the water, man, right? Eventually you gotta get up and go to that water yourself, right? So let's get this real fast in Galatians. I'll go back to the blue letter, Galatians 6, right? And I'm gonna start from verse 2, right? Because like I was going into, it's okay to bear another brother's burdens, because that's what the Lord told us to do, right? So it says, Galatians 6 and 2, bear ye one another's burdens, and so fulfill the law of Yahawashi. You see that? So that's what it's all about, really, is loving your brother, right? Bearing their burdens, right? But check this out. It says, for if a man think himself to be something when he is nothing, he deceiveth himself, right? And that's a heavy precept in itself as well, right? If you start to get prideful in this thing, you think you're something that you're not, hey, you're deceiving yourself, right? But this is the point I wanted. Verse 4, it says, but let every man prove his own work, right? So at the end of the day, you're going to have to prove your own work. You understand? Yahawashi not going to return, and you're going to be able to tell Yahawashi, oh, I mean, you can't, I can't go to my brother and be like, can you tell Yahawashi what I was doing, right? Remember I went out there and labored with you, right? Remember, hey, man, you're going to have to prove yourself to Yahawashi. You're going to have to prove yourself to the Lord when he returns, huh? Right? Every man going to have to prove his own work. I'm not going to be able to look at the next brother and be like, hey, remember we went out there and taught? Hey, the Lord don't care about what the next brother's saying, man. You got to prove your own work. And reading on, it says, and then shall he have rejoicing in himself alone, right? And all those brothers that's on fire for the Lord, right? Hey, they're going to be able to rejoice in themselves, man. They're not going to rejoice in the next brother's works, man. Right? And reading on in verse 4, it says, and not in another, right? So like I was just saying, like you ain't going to rejoice in another brother's work. You're going to rejoice in your own work, man. And right, and it's really the main point I want. Verse 5, it says, for every man shall bear his own burden. So even though, hey, brothers supposed to bear the burdens of their brothers, at the end of the day, really, hey, every man gonna have to bear his own burden. So stop sitting around and, hey, when Yahawashi returns, you're gonna tell Yahawashi, oh, the reason I ain't do the work because I ain't have brothers exhorting me, or brothers ain't been calling me, or I ain't have nobody to do the work with, right? At the end of the day, hey, every man gonna have to bear his own burden, man, right? So don't be like that damn horse or that mule that needs somebody to grab him by the damn bit and bridle. You understand? Sitting around in the marketplace idle until somebody tell you to do something, man, right? Hey, let's go into it, man. Let's go to 1 Corinthians. 1 Corinthians 3. Because when I first came in this truth, hey, that's the spirit. I wouldn't say I had that spirit. I always had the spirit, right? Not to speak of myself, right? But just to make an example, I always had the spirit to really want to study myself. I didn't need nobody to study with. But I feel like, hey, what's going on? Like, why brothers never want to study with me type, like, you know what I'm saying? I feel like we should study as a body. But after a while, I kind of grew in the spirit. The Lord put the spirit on me to kind of get a little bit of increase, right? And I realized, like, hey, at the end of the day, you're going to have to bear your own burden, man, right? You can't count on other brothers to want to do the same things that you doing in this thing. You understand? Right? So this the book of 1 Corinthians 3 and 8. And every man going to be rewarded according to his own labor, man, right? It's not going to matter really what the next brother that's standing by you is doing. You're going to be rewarded according to the things that you did, right? According to your heart, you understand? So this 1 Corinthians 3 and 8, it says, now he that planteth and he that watereth are one. You see that? And every man shall receive, this is the point I want, right? It says, and every man shall receive his own reward according to his own labor. So with that understanding that you're going to be rewarded according to your own labor, that should make you want to be on fire for the Lord. Every time you're idle, you should feel bad and feel like you're straying away from the kingdom, right? You're falling away from the kingdom. You're getting farther and farther from eternal life. Every second you sit there, Salakia, every second you sit there and you're idle, you understand? You're in all matters of vanity and idleness. Hey, you're stepping farther and farther away from eternal life, farther and farther away from the kingdom, right? But every second you're occupied in this work, you're meditating on this word, you understand? Hey, you're getting closer and closer to the kingdom, man, right? And that's really what it's all about, man, getting the kingdom of heaven, right? So let's stay in 1 Corinthians, but I want to go to chapter 9. Right, so this the main point of this video is to bear your own burden in this thing, man. Right? Don't sit around and think people got to hold your hand and lead you to the kingdom, right? Lead you to the water. You understand? Hey, it's an old saying in the world. Yeah, you can lead a horse to the water, but you can't make him drink, man. You understand? So eventually you got to start drinking, right? You got to bear your own burden in this thing. And this 1 Corinthians 9 and 24, it says, know ye not that they which run in a race run all, right? But one receiveth the prize. So run that you may obtain. So the Lord didn't say, sit there and wait for somebody to grab you by the bridle and they run with you. They running while they got their hand on your bridle as well, right? Like a damn brother running his damn dog, right? He got the dog collar in his hand and now he running to press towards the mark. Hey, ain't nobody gonna run you to the kingdom, man, right? Brothers could exhort you, right? Brothers could support you, right? If you're a little weaker in the spirit, do all that they can to kind of lift you up in this thing. But hey, a brother can't carry you to the kingdom, man, right? Because you're gonna have to bear your own burden at the end of the day, right? No matter how hard a brother try to carry you to the kingdom, hey, when you almost there and Yahawashi return, what Yahawashi gonna say? Hey, man, you're not gonna make it just because of the things that your brother did, right? You try to lean on this brother, right? You try to lean on this sister. Hey, you're gonna be rewarded according to your own works. You understand? So, hey, you gotta kind of get up and really labor in this thing, man, right? Give your all to make your calling and your election sure, right? So it's actually kind of deep, man. Let's read on in this, right? Let's jump to verse 26. It says, I therefore so run, not as uncertainly, so fight I, not as one that beateth the air. And when you pressing towards the mark in this thing, man, don't be in doubt, man, right? Don't do it in vain. You got full faith that you're doing this for a reason, man, because you're going to receive a reward, right? In verse 27, it says, but I keep under my body and bring it into subjection, right? That's that by any means, when I have preached to others, I myself shall be a castaway. And that's why you got to keep your body in subjection. You understand? You got to make sure you're doing the right things and bearing fruit. You understand? Because you could go out there and preach or teach to the next brother, teach to the next sister, but really behind closed doors, you're not really doing nothing to make your calling and your election sure, man. Right? You're not putting your body under subjection. You letting these demons beat your ass, man. You understand? Hey, you got to pick up your sword and fight in this thing, right? So let's go to the book of, let's go to Lakia. Let's go to 1 Kings. Let's get 2 and verse 2, the classic. It says, I go the way of, this is 1 Kings 2 and 2. I go the way of all the earth. Be thou strong, therefore, and show thyself a man. Right? So the Lord says, show yourself a man. A man don't need nobody to grab him by their damn bridle, you understand, and kind of control him and say, this is what we're going to do today. All right, today we're going to fast. Okay, today we're going to do a video. Okay, today we're going to do this. Today we're going to go out and labor. Hey, a man don't need that. A man going to get up. Hey, he going to show himself a man. He going to serve the Lord, right? He's going to serve the Most High God, man, right? The Lord said, be thou strong, therefore, and show thyself a man, right? Don't be a damn dumb horse or a damn mule, man, that needs somebody to grab you by your damn bridle and make you do the work, right? You always need exhortation, right? And don't get the wrong message from this, right? We're supposed to exhort one another daily, but don't be that brother that need another brother to exhort him or speak the right things to him to make you feel like, okay, now I'm feeling a little stronger in the spirit, right? Every day you sitting there being idle, you're not really doing nothing. You read one chapter a day, and now when a brother call you or a brother shoot you a message, now you a little bit in the spirit. Hey, man, a man don't need that. A real man of the Lord, he don't need that, man. You understand? He gonna serve the Lord with all his heart, with all his soul, man. Right? So let's go to Isaiah 46. Right? Slakia. I'm gonna get 2 Timothy. Let's get 2 Timothy. 2 Timothy chapter 2, the classic, right? In verse 3. 2 Timothy 2 and 3, and it reads, thou therefore endure hardness as a good soldier of Yahawashi. Right? You gotta endure hardness as a good soldier of Yahawashi. Right, and it's not dealing with a brother that's feeling low in the spirit, right? He's not too much in the spirit, and that's why he kind of sitting back and not doing much. This dealing with that brother that's never in the spirit, man. Right? He always being slothful, right? He always waiting for a brother to pull him by his damn collar, damn collar, right? Because nobody gonna be on fire 24/7. But you don't want to be that brother that's never doing nothing, man. Right? Except when somebody grab you by your damn collar, man. Right? That's an off spirit to have, right? So it says, 2 Timothy 2 and 3, thou therefore endure hardness as a good soldier of Yahawashi Mashiach. Right? In verse 4, it says, no man that warreth entangleth himself with the affairs of this life, that he may please him who have chosen him to be a soldier. Right? And you can't be entangled with the affairs of this life, right? Temptation, tribulation. You can't let these things bring you down too low and bring you down all the time, man. Eventually, a man of the Lord, he gonna get up and fight back, man. Right? So let's go into Psalms, right? Because you gotta make sure your heart is good with the Lord, and you gotta ask yourself, if I'm always idle and I never really want to do more to magnify the name of the Lord, is my heart really right with the Lord? Right? Am I really in this thing for the right reason? Right? Because when you read about our forefathers is doing all that they can to magnify the name of the Lord. They hardly made excuses. You understand? They dealt with demons, right? They dealt with temptation, but they was on fire, man. Right? So is your heart really right with the Lord? Sometimes you got to sit back. Hey, that's why I always say this, right? This truth is it takes constant self-examination, right? It takes constant self-examination. You honestly should be self-examining every day, right? What could I do better to magnify the name of the Lord, right? How could I be a better brother, right? How could I be a better servant? How can I be more humble, more loving, right? It's constant self-examination, man, right? And the only way you're not going to be examining yourself if you kind of reprobate in this thing, right? And that goes into 2 Corinthians 13 and verse 5 and on down, man. Right? So let's go into Psalm 78. And let's get verse 35. And it reads, Psalm 78 and 35, and it says, this is what I want. We can start from 35. It says, and they remembered the Most High was their rock and the high power, their redeemer. Right? And it says, nevertheless, they did flatter him with their mouth, and they lied unto him with their tongues. Right? And you don't want to be that brother or sister, right? You flatter the Most High God with your lies, right? You get around brothers, and now you want to speak about the Most High, but when you're not around nobody, right? You kind of it's just you, right? The Most High God is not on your mind. You're not even thinking about how to be a light unto your people, or thinking about how to be a better servant, or thinking about things you can do to magnify the name of the Lord, man. Right? So it says, nevertheless, they did flatter him with their mouth, and they lied unto him with their tongue. So you're just lying unto the Lord with your mouth, man. Right? And it says, verse 37, it's the point. For their heart was not right with him, right? Because a lot of people, their hearts is not really right with the Lord. They don't even really know what they in this thing for. You understand? They don't really understand the importance of this ministry, how serious this ministry is, man. Right? This is really the truth, man. Right? And when you can't play with the truth, man. Right? And this is a super heavy account, right? It says, for their heart was not right with him, neither were they steadfast in his covenant. And a lot of people are not steadfast in the covenant of the Lord, man. Right? They kind of forsake this thing, man. And ultimately, if you forsake the Lord for too long, hey, man, he gonna forsake you. You understand? So you gotta ask yourself, is your heart really right with the Lord? Right? Let's go to Acts 8. So this Acts 8 and verse number 21. It says, thou hast neither part nor lot in this matter, for thy heart is not right in the sight of God, man. Right? So this was happening even in the ancient days. Right? A lot of people knew they were Israelites, you understand? They knew the truth. They knew about Yahawashi, but their heart just wasn't right with the Most High God, man. Right? So you got to make sure your heart is right with the Lord, right? And if you know it's not, right, you got to pray to the Lord and ask him to create in you a new heart, man. A clean heart, man, without guile, without malice, you understand? Without deceit, right? Because when you go into that word guile, that's dealing with deceit, and it's also dealing with being a sluggard and being slothful. Because if you're slothful and you deal with a slack hand, hey, you're serving the Lord with guile in your heart. You understand? Because anybody in their right mind, they're gonna give their all to this ministry. You understand? They're gonna understand that if I'm a servant of Yahawashi, that means I'm a prisoner of Yahawashi, which means, hey, I'm supposed to give my life to this thing, man. Right? So a lot of brothers and sisters, they dealing with guile, man. Right? They serving the Lord with guile in their heart, man. Right? And their heart not right with the Lord. Let's get this in Matthew 15. And you could hide it from men all day. You could get around men and pretend you really in this thing. Hey, you could trick men all day. But hey, the Lord knows your heart, man. Right? You can't fool the Lord. So let's go into this thing. It's Matthew 15 and 8, and it reads, this people draw, and this red letter, this is Yahawashi, right? It says, this people draweth nigh unto me with their mouth, and honoreth me with their lips. So a lot of people, they come Yashala, right? They the loudest one, come Yashala, Khan, Bahasham Yahawashi, right? Bahasham Mashiach Yahawashi, right? It says, these people draweth nigh unto me with their mouth and honoreth me with their lips, right? But their heart is far from me, right? So they come out there and scream, Kam Yashala, Shalawam, right? They kind of getting in there, right? Hey, but their heart is far from the Lord, man. Right? Hey, so you got to make sure your heart is not far from the Lord, man. Right? Got to be fruitful in this thing. Bear fruit. Serve the Lord with all your heart and with all your soul, man. Let me get this real fast in John 15. Right? Because I just said about fruit. I want to get straight to the point, though. And John 15 and verse 8. Right? Because like I was going into, somebody whose heart is really in this thing, they always think about how to magnify and glorify the Father, right? Magnify and glorify the name of Yahawaah by Bahasham Yahawashi, right? So it's not hard to tell if somebody's heart is really in this thing or not, man, right? Like I was saying, you can fool certain brothers, right? And hey, you probably could fool all the brothers and sisters on this earth, right? But you ain't gonna be able to fool the Lord in that day when he returns, right? So this is the book of St. John, chapter 15 and verse 8, and it reads, Herein is my Father glorified. In this red letter, right? It's Yahawashi. It says that ye bear much fruit, right? So that's how you glorify the Most High God, man. It's by bearing much fruit. And how do you bear fruit? It's by doing the work, man. Magnifying his name. You understand? Using the gifts that he gave you to labor, right? That's plain. That's what bearing fruit is, right? So it says, herein is my Father glorified, that you bear much fruit. So shall you be my disciples, right? So you got to bear fruit, and that's how you're going to glorify the name of Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, man, right? And that's plain. So when you see somebody that's in this thing, but they kind of stagnant, they're not really bearing fruits, it's clear. It should be clear to see, like, hey, this brother not going out his way to magnify the name of Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, man, right? This sister is not going out of her way to magnify the name of the Father, man, right? And that's that. Hey, that's plain. Right, so I'm gonna get a few more, right? I'm gonna get one more, right? Let's go into the book of James. Right, so this is the book of James, chapter 2 and verse 14. It reads, what doeth it profit, my brethren, though a man say he have faith and have not works? Can faith save him? So if you have faith and have not works, hey, can faith save you? Right, and a lot of brothers use this to go into keeping the law, right? And obviously, keeping the law is a part of works. But it's really not only dealing with keeping the law, you understand? Because when you read on, you're going to see that. Right? In verse 15, it says, if a brother or sister be naked and destitute of daily food, and one of you say unto them, depart in peace, be ye warmed and filled, notwithstanding, ye give them not those things which are needful to the body, what doeth it profit? Right? So, hey, even though that would be in the law, right? Right? Loving your brother, right? But it's not chiefly saying, just keep the law, man, right? Works is more than just keeping the law, right? Works is exhorting your brothers, right? Preaching the gospel, right? Counsel, you understand? It's a lot to it, man, right? And so this is what we got to be doing on a daily basis. And so it says, I'm gonna read verse 16 again. It says, and one of you say unto them, I'm gonna read verse 15. It says, if a brother or sister be naked and destitute of daily food, and that's deep as well, because on a spiritual level, that nakedness can represent sin, right? Not being clothed in that the garment of the Lord, right? That all white garment, right? And destitute of daily food, and daily food could represent the word, man, right? That daily bread, that daily wine, right? And it says, and one of you say unto them, depart in peace, be ye warmed and filled, notwithstanding you give them not those things which are needful to the body. So you see somebody need the word, man, right? And you're not giving them the word, man, right? And all our people need the word, man. Israel needs the word, right? We need to seal the elect, man. Our people need to be healed, you understand? And the only way they're going to be healed is through the words of God, right? And it says, notwithstanding you give them not those things which are needful to the body, what doeth it profit, man? Right? So you can sit around saying I have faith in the Lord, but you're not bearing no fruits that the nation of Israel could eat from, man. Right? So are you really showing your faith by your works, man? Right? So verse 17, it says, even so faith, if it have not works, is dead being alone. Right? It says, yeah, a man may say, thou hast faith and I have works. Show me thy faith without thy works, and I will show thee my faith by my works. Right? So you got to show your faith by your works. Hey, and that's actually deeper than what it seems like on the surface, man. Right? Because if you really have faith in the Lord, that means you have faith that when he returns, he's going to reward you according to your works. That means you have faith that what he says in Revelation 3 about if you're lukewarm, he's going to spew you out of his mouth, man. Right? And hey, and if you really have faith in these words, that means you will be doing all that you could to magnify his name. Right? Doing all that you could to be on fire. Right? So, hey, man. Hey, brothers got to, let's go back to Psalms 32 and 9. Right? And get the conclusion of the matter. Right? So Psalms chapter 32 and verse 9, it reads, be ye not as the horse or as the mule, which have no understanding, whose mouth must be held in with bit and bridle. Right? So get up and magnify the name of the Lord. Stop waiting for somebody to grab you by your hand. Right? Stop waiting for somebody to grab you by your damn bit and bridle, man. And get up and do the work of the Lord, man. Right? Stop standing around in the marketplace idle. Right? You kind of stand, the Lord kind of hire you into his vineyard and you just standing around, man, right? And when the Lord come back, what you gonna say to him? Oh, nobody told me what I was supposed to do. Hey, brother, you know what you're supposed to do, man, right? And Lord willing, this was edifying, right? And Lord willing, this uplifted a brother or sister in the spirit, With that, I want to say Shalom, Yasha'Allah. I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to the Most High God, Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi. Shalom.